It's beverage time. So today we're going to be getting ready to harvest the rest of the pollinators. So we've got all the nonpareils that have been in. They're all going through the huller and sheller. But we got done shaking and sweeping up the pollinators. So we're going to go through. I didn't show you this process in the last harvest video. We have to do this as part of the harvest process. We have to scrape in the ends of the rows so that the harvester can make the turns, and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about once we get going. There's a company out there that makes this same implement, and it's obviously professional. You can buy it from them, and that's where I got the idea from. I just didn't want to pay what they were wanting for it because I knew I could build it for a lot cheaper, so I just went ahead and built it. But let's get started. Can't forget my drink. Cannot forget that. That's the most important thing for the day. Oh baby, I cleaned the windshields this morning, and man, look how clear that is out there. Should have shown you guys a before and after. So you can just see that thing's just floating there. Woo! Look at Old Glory flying today, baby. That's what I like to see. Alright, we're here. I'll get out and show you what I'm talking about. So the nuts have been swept. They're in the windrow right here, and right now they come out. This isn't a great row to show that. I'll go to this next row. This is a better row to show. So the next row over, you can see how they come out to the end of this row, even past the tree. You can see 2 rows down, it's even worse. It comes out past. So the reason why we want to scoot these back is so that when the harvester's coming through, it'll be coming through and it's going to make this turn. It will be done picking up the nuts there, so it'll be able to start making the turn sooner than having to come straight out to here and then to go down that way. And then when it's making this turn in, it's going to be like over here. You know, the front of it's going to be over here so that the back nut cart part doesn't hit the trees. So it's going to miss all these nuts right here as it comes in and finally comes in right here. So there's nothing really you can do about that because that's where the trees are. They get swept in. The sweepers try and blow them in as far as possible, but that's about as best as they can do. So a lot of times, and most of the time, what you used to see happen was you'd have crews or you'd have a lot of laborers out here with rakes, and they'd be raking those back, and it just takes a long time, a lot of labor, costs a lot of money. So that's what this implement does. It solves that issue for you. You can just scoot it back in and it works great. And sure, if you had a wider space between on the ends of the row so that you had a wider area for the machine to turn, yeah, then you wouldn't need to do this, but then you're losing that much space that you could have planted trees and been making money on. So all right, let's see if I can do this with one hand. Just like that. That one was a little tough. Just like that, now we're scooted back a few rows in so they can make this corner and be able to start picking up right here. They don't have to miss those nuts as they're making that wide turn. It's not absolutely 100% perfect. I mean, you're gonna miss some nuts here and there. There's a little bit right there, a little bit right there. It's mainly because the ground's uneven. So if the ground was perfectly flat, it would work perfect. There wouldn't be a single nut. But because the ground's not perfectly flat, it's got little indentions here and there. Some get by. But neither is raking. Raking's not 100% perfect either, because you got guys who are just trying to get, you know, through and get the job done and get them pulled back. And so it's pretty darn good. And if we really, really wanted to, we could come out and scrape up those last little bit of nuts to put in there, but probably won't. We will go around, because there'll be times that there is a big indention that they will fall in, and there'll be a decent little pile in there. We will go move those, but for the most part, this saves us a ton of time, ton of money, and works great. But let's go ahead and I will flip this around and show you guys how it works going the other way. That'll help if I move the magnet first. That's the problem with the magnet though. So I got the magnet off there and I set it down on here. That is a strong magnet, folks. Alright, now I can finish showing you. Just like that. Bam. Now it's the other way. As you can tell, I am rusty going that way. I don't think I've ever actually done it going that way, and I just don't like going that way. I like going the other way. Well, it is full go this morning. This is hopefully, well, no, this won't be the last day of harvest. Hopefully tomorrow's the last day of harvest. We've got more harvesters out this time. Last time we had 2. We've got 3 going, so it's going to be real quick. A lot of movement, which I like. The slowest thing that's going to hold us up is the trucks. Getting the trucks delivered and everything like that. But Skylar's in the truck, moving them back and forward for these guys. And yeah, we're cracking. We're doing the Aldrich first. Then after we're done with the Aldrich, we will go and do the wood colony, get the big orchard done, and we'll go to the little orchard. So as you can see, this is the D-stick. I call it the D-sticker. I don't know what they call it. But as the nuts come in, so there's sticks in the pile, and it takes those sticks, loads them off right here, come up, and we'll load them up into this bucket and take them out of the way. That way we try and get as many sticks out of this stuff as possible. Let's see what Skylar's up to. Skylar, what's life like as a big rig driver?
Well, you know, some people are just born for different things. Some people are born to run. Some people are born to farm. Some people are born to be businessmen. I was born to drive truck.
That is the voice of a serious truck driver right there, folks. How many miles do you think you've put on a rig?
Oh, like, I'd say the Holler and Sheller is probably about 5 miles from here. So I bet in my entire career, I've probably put on close to 200 miles.
Dang.
Just going back and forth.
You know, how many trucks have you gone through in that 200 miles?
Oh, I don't know. It's hard to say. Probably like 1 million.
So if you want to see what Skylar does, so he sits and waits as they're loading, they'll let him know when to pull forward. So he gave the signal. Wow.
Like, you can say that my job's probably the most important part out of the entire season. Oh yeah, and if you don't do it exactly a couple feet, it can screw up everything. Whoa.
Well, we had to move this bad boy out of the way. This was kind of in the way where they could turn around, and so we're gonna have to park it inside anyway. Just, it's got that straight up exhaust. I know we could put a cap on it, we just never have. Just make sure we always park it inside, but so we had to move it, but it was running great, and then it died, and then it won't start, so gotta have it charging. Well, we had a breakdown. We still are working on it right now. The elevator has a fuel leak, and we obviously don't want that happening, so we're gonna wait till we can get that repaired, and then we'll start going again. That's one of the things that sucks about harvest. All you guys know who run equipment likes to break down, and so it really, we were rolling, going quick. I loved it, and we'll get rolling again. We just got to get the fuel leak fixed, so we got to get that fixed, and we'll be good to go. But yeah, it just sucks having to sit here and wait. Got carts waiting to load up the trucks, and we can't go. So you can see right here, he's changing out. They had a bad injector, so leaky injector, so he's changing out an injector on this pump right here. See, this is what we talk about when we talk about the de-sticker. Does a good job. Well, Big Boss Man's here. So him and Mom took a much needed and well-deserved trip to Santa Cruz. What do you think of harvest time?
Hey, love it.
We're hopefully getting some bigger, we know we're getting bigger pounds than we have in the past, so
yeah,
that'll be good.
Nice to have it done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just like to call this, you know, this is like the nut scraper, nut scratcher. Nuts, no, not nut scraper, scraper, nut scraper, not scratcher.